Hi everyone. Today I'm going to show you two techniques on how to create from your photo two different types of images to create your lino prints. The first one, as you can see, is an interior shot of a stairwell. The first thing you need to do is go over to here. These are your layers, and make sure that on this side you can see the layers tab has been clicked and this is highlighted. Right mouse button down on that, duplicate layer. It says layer 1 copy, which is fine. Press OK. You can now see there are two layers, one which is highlighted, one which is not. You need to work always from the highlighted layer. It's very, very important. If your history bar closes up here, this is like your Command Z or your Control Z to go backwards, but in Photoshop you can go back as many movements as you want to. Just press that double arrow and it hides it back away over there. So the first thing you need to do is to reduce the colors. There's two ways to do this. We call it hue and saturation. You go to image, you go to adjustments over here, you go to hue and saturation, and you drop it down all the way down to 100%. That will make it completely black and white, and press OK. The other way of doing it is if you have your libraries open, there's this adjustments tab here, and you can see this hue and saturation, and it's there. The next thing you need to do is go to layer over here, image over here again, go to adjustments and go to Posterize. Posterize turns it into a completely black and white image, and you can see it flattens everything out and makes it much easier to work in terms of lino. Now every image is slightly different. What you're looking for here is enough levels so that you can make out things like the bottom of the stairwell. You might want that bit of doorway there, but importantly you want to be able to see the stairs. It automatically gives you a number, which it's at 4 levels. You might want it at 6, which gives you a little bit more definition. You can see a little bit more of the levels. You might want it at 3, which makes it a lot flatter and a lot more black and white. You may want it at 9, which actually has more grey tones. Just remember that it is quite difficult to get grey tones in a lino print, and you have to use bits of line to do it, but this gives you a sense of how to work. So for the sake of this, I'm going to keep it at 5. It gives me enough definition over here that you can see the edge of the stairs, you can see each of the different steps, and it's enough black and white, and it is okay. Press OK, and that gives you your image to work from. The second technique is much more about outlines, and I'm going to use a different type of image for you this time, an exterior shot. Go over to your layer again. Make sure you duplicate it. Press duplicate. Press OK. Go to your hue and saturation over here. Make sure you drop your hue and saturation all the way down here to 100. Okay, remembering that if you need to, you can always go over to here, image and adjustments, and the same things will come up there. The next thing that you need to do is make sure you're back on layer 1 copy. You're not working out of the hue and saturation item there. We're on layer 1, the copy, and then you want to go to blend mode, and then do color dodge, which is just here, and you can see that it becomes much whiter. Now the next important part here is that you need to do Command I, which is an inversion, and the picture looks very, very white. From here, this will actually help us create the lines. You go up to filter, you go to blur, and to Gaussian blur here. And then you can begin to see that your image is looking much more like a picture. But every single time, for every different image, you need to actually make adjustments. So you need to adjust the image up and down a little bit to make it the way you want it to look more and more like a drawn photo. So if you move this little tab up and down like so, you can see that it gets more and more black and white. So put it to where you want it to be. I'm going to leave it there, about there, and press OK. So go to adjustments and go to levels here, or you go image, adjustments here, and go to levels. Whichever way you want to go is exactly fine. Go over to the furthest most tab, move the levels across so you can see it. Go over to here, and you can move that up and down to make things more intense or not. Just be careful because it's picking up. This is picking this up here. But if you just move the tabs left or right here, you can actually see that it will develop it and change it the way you want it to go, giving some areas deeper or lighter. Stay closer to this one over here, which will be much easier. I'll just cancel that for a second. Go there, move that tab across this way, and you can see it makes things more or less intense. This is the way that you can then utilize this image to actually cut out your lino print. This one works better for things when there is lots of detail like this particular house. And that's how you utilize levels to create your image to do an outline. And this way you're using it to posterize. Both do similar things but have different outcomes for different types of pictures, so you may have to swap between them. Always remember that you must be working on the highlighted level and going through the steps. Also remember that use the different hues and saturations and blacks and whites to create different types of densities and lines, because in lino printing the variety of lines create a variety of interest. I hope this little tutorial helped you in some way and you get some assistance from it. Please remember to ask your teachers if you need any help. Thank you.